Good morning, or I guess it might not be morning everywhere. It's morning here. Oh shoot, I'm sideways. Huh. Let's see. Give it a second, see if that'll change. I'm really upside down. Okay. I really don't like this new phone. Right now, I gotta see if I can get it to zoom in a bit more. Good morning. It looks like I have a couple people popping on. I can't see comments yet. Say hello if you wouldn't mind so I know you're here. I'm having issues with my phone today. My lives haven't gone as smooth since I got this new phone, so I think maybe I need to practice a bit more. Yeah, my computer's on mute so they can hear me through the phone. Lives haven't gone as smooth since I got this new phone, so. Let's see here. Well, it is the Memorial Day weekend here in the USA, and I know some of you may be at work if you're not on a holiday. For me, it's the unusual pleasure of being on a holiday and having a time to color along with you. So today I am coloring up the Up, Up, and Away. And I'm going to be using the Radical Rectangles, I believe it's called, stencil, to do a backdrop around my image. So I've already got it masked off so that I can do that. And then I'm playing with my new watercolor markers. They're called the Karin Brushmarker Pro is what they're called. I've heard some people call them Karin. I'm pretty sure it's Karin, the Karin Brushmarker Pro. So I am not, I have only used them one other time before, and I'm just getting used to them. So we may have a little trial and error along the way, but that's okay. I mean, that's part of the fun of live, right? The one I did do recently with my Karin markers was the Lucky Ducks. And you can kind of see how I did that. I did this one on regular, I think it was 100-pound cardstock, and I did okay with it. It didn't wrinkle too much, but I find that I am a pretty heavy-handed watercolorer. Like, I use a lot of water. So today I am using a piece of Canson watercolor paper, and I'm doing it on the smooth side of the paper. So Looks like I might have one person joining us, maybe none, kind of popping in and out. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I know that the live is always available later, so hopefully, you know, when you're not at work or you're not out enjoying the amazing weather, which we are having for a change here in Montana, you'll be able to pop in and see the video later. So I'm going to get going here. I'm trying to line up my stencil as close as I can. Without grid paper, it's kind of hard, but I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it and hope that I'm in there, in the range. And I'm using some, oh darn, and then I bumped it. I'm using some, this is a masking Post-it tape that I got, and I really like it for holding things down. I just don't want to go outside my lines, so I'm just going to cover that up. I'm going to be using the new designer denim for my background. I really love this blue. It's a soft, pretty blue. Oh, hello, Sabrina. Yeah, you do get a chance. It's nice. I know. I feel bad when I miss our design team videos, and it seems like I end up missing a lot and having to watch the replay. So thank you for being here. So I was saying what I'm using today is the Karin Brushmarker Pro watercolor markers. I'm very new to them. I got a few and tried them and fell in love with them, so of course I had to buy the whole set. And so I'm just messing around with them. I thought this would be a fun image to do it with. I'm stamped already on some Canson watercolor paper, and I've mask this off so that I can use the radical rectangle stencil to make a backdrop for my cute little image from the Up, Up, and Away. So I'm just gonna start here, kind of off on the side, start from the bottom. And this is the designer denim ink. I really love this color a lot. My Post-it notes are not very sticky, so I got to kind of hold down a couple parts here. Yeah, they're so fun, Sabrina. I just can't get the hang of the zig markers. I just can't. I try and I try and I try. And I just find that I feel like I'm just coloring like with a marker pen. And then when I'm using the water, I can't quite get the same, I don't know, I just struggle with them. So I tried these. I actually had participated in a online crop thing, and part of the fee was I got 4 of the markers for a discounted price to try, because one of the classes was doing the markers. And so I tried them, and I absolutely fell in love with them. I found them very easy because I love watercoloring, and I love the look and the technique of watercoloring, but I suck at it. So I know that it's practice just like anything else, but I just haven't had the time to practice with real watercolors. So these are very close, I think, to how watercolors play. Of course, I don't know that you can get the same depth. Maybe you can. Like I said, I'm super new to them. And I have found that, like when I did the Lucky Ducks, as I let it dry and then went back through with another level of it, it worked perfectly. I mean, you know, it did layer a little bit. So, hey Kim. Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah, I had to switch the time. It's Memorial Day here for us, and my family, I didn't know if we had anything going on, and I picked a late in the day because I thought maybe other people might have something going on the long weekend, and so I had picked later in the day, but then I had to change it. So I apologize if I've messed people up, for sure. I was telling Sabrina, and Sabrina, you're right. I do love this designer denim for sky blue. Isn't it pretty? Oh, I just love it. This is the Radical Rectangles again, stencil. And the Up, Up, and Away, and I'm coloring on watercolor paper. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I found, Sabrina. So that's why I tried these, and I absolutely love them. And by the way, I know you love your zigs, and I have quite a few. So if there, I might send you a message and see if there's some colors you don't have. Maybe I can send them to you. You'll get more use out of them than me, for sure. It is an absolutely gorgeous day here today. After last weekend's terrible snowstorm, actually for several days, my front flowers did not survive, and so I went out and bought a bunch of flowers the other day, and I'm anxious to get them potted and be able to have some pretty flowers around the front of my house and the back. So that's what I'll be doing today in the 80-some degree weather. All right, so that's our backdrop. Isn't that pretty with the blue? Oh, thank you, Kim. Yeah, Carla had posted it, but again, you know, long weekend, people busy. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Well, hello, Florence. How are you? Let's see here. I'm just getting my masking off. And I had to cut my nails way down short, so there we go. See, I'm not there. Got him. Couldn't get him very well. Okay, so what we're doing today is I've already taken the Radical Rectangle stencil, and I've made a backdrop for our sweet little image, and I'm going to keep it pretty clean and simple, which is not my typical style, but I love it. It just takes a little practice. And I've got off on the side, I know I'm zoomed in pretty good. Hi, Patty. I've got off on the side a piece of practice paper that I'm gonna kind of mess around with a little bit too, because I haven't tried a lot of the colors that I have. So Patty and Florence, you're just popping in. I just want to tell you that today we are coloring with what I have heard mostly called the Karin Brushmarker Pros. And some people I think call them Karin, but I've heard more people say Karin. And they're, I'm gonna say similar to zigs, but not really at all, I don't think, because they really are more watery, more fluid. And I seem to have had a little bit better luck with them. I gotta get my glasses. I'll be right back. Sorry guys, just a sec. Thank you, Kim, for posting that. Okay, so thank you for being patient while I grabbed my glasses. I realized I wasn't going to see a doggone thing if I didn't. So I've got us really zoomed in. I apologize for that. I am still learning this new phone that's very different than my other phone. So what I do, let's see if I can, maybe I'll just slide the camera over a little bit, because I'm afraid if I try to mess around with the zoom, I'm going to lose this. So I'm going to slide me this way. And let's see if I'm still in there. And what I've got, I'm on my glass matte surface. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it. I just want you to kind of see what I'm doing here. So I'm using the Pro Marker, and I'm just putting down some of the marker on the glass mat. So not a very big spot because I'm doing the elephant, and this is my darker of the two grays. This is my gray 2, I believe I'm using. Yes, gray 2. And I'm just gonna grab a little piece of this and practice on the side for a sec to make sure this is a water brush. There we go, yeah. So I'm just gonna add a little water to it, and then I'm gonna pick it up, put it on my image. And what I like about this too is I can get more of a true, almost like watercolor, what do I want to say? You know, it doesn't have to be so perfect. So again, this is my darker of the two grays. And I can make it darker as I wish. Right now I'm just kind of practicing a little because I'm not real sure about my colors quite yet, but I'm getting there. I'm gonna add a little more on the tunnel, just shade his little head a little bit. And so instead of laying, and you can also, like if you're using watercolor paper, you can, and I may do it on the balloon here, you can lay the marker down on the paper like you do with the zigs, and then pull it out with the water. Right now what I'm doing, as I said, is I've got it on my mat, my glass mat, and I'm transferring from the mat to the paper. Okay, so that was my gray 2. Now I'm going to grab my gray 1, and I'm going to put a little spot down of that. And I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to fill in the rest of this little sweet pea. So I've got kind of a fine-tipped water brush. Oops, I went outside the lines. Oh well. That's the one bad thing. Of course, with watercolor, it doesn't need to be perfect, right? We just said that, or I said that anyway. But when you go out of the lines, you don't have you can just saturate it with water, but you don't have the awesome Copic marker to save you, the colorless blender. So Kim, I'm using the Canson watercolor paper. It comes in a pad. It's fairly inexpensive. I get it at Hobby Lobby, and I'm using the smooth side of the paper, so you can use zigs that way too. Oh, okay, good to know, Sabrina. I feel like maybe I just haven't tried it enough. Like I said, there's just really a big learning curve for me with those, so. All right, so that's our gray. I'm just gonna let it see, and you can see it bled outside of my line just a little bit. But the denim, the designer denim, is not, bleeding into the ink. It's just kind of the watercolor sitting over the top of it, which is the great thing about the hybrid inks, the way they work that way. So let's see, how about we do the basket? And for the basket, I'm gonna use, let's see, what am I gonna use for the basket? Sandstone. Let's use a sandstone and okay, so this time I'm gonna use a cinnamon and a sandstone. Let's hope those two colors play well together. I don't really know if they're gonna. And I'm gonna start with, let's see, I don't know which is my darker. That one's pretty dark. So can you see the tips on these? They're almost more like a Copic marker. They're pretty sturdy, but they have some give to them. Oh, those two colors don't play well together at all. Okay, so let's try this guy. Yeah, that'll work better. Okay. All right, so now this time I'm gonna take, and I'm just gonna pull a little color. This is, what color is this? Sepia. I'm gonna pull a little color from the bottom. Just a little. And under. My hands are shaky. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab my water brush. Yeah, Karin is the brand name. Kim, I don't honestly know how new they are. I just found out about them recently. through an online class I took. And as you can see, I am really, I forget that you can't go so close to the lines because of the way the water kind of seeps out. So I'm going to just blur things. I'm going to take some creative license here, and I'm just going to kind of blur it, make it more watercolory looking. I have heard people, Kim, say that they get these on like Amazon. And then what I'm going to do is probably try to push some of that color back up a little bit, maybe. This may turn out to be a bit of a disaster, you guys, but that's all right. We're learning. Lots of fluid. Yeah, it's a ton, isn't it, Sabrina? So I may have to go back and add, maybe I'll put a cloud over that or something. I got to remember not to use so much, get so close. And that's the other reason I kind of like to do it on the mat instead of on the paper, because again, they're super juicy. Again, I'm learning how to blend these babies, and this water marker of mine is very wet too on top of it, so there we go. So we're just gonna kind of mess around, and like I said, I'm probably gonna stick a cloud over that because it's probably gonna drive me crazy, but that's okay. What I'm really wanting to do is show you how adorable this image is and show you something new, because you know, many of you may not know about these, and it's fun to know all the different ways that we can use our Kraftin Kimmie stamps with different mediums, with different coloring things. You know, not everybody's awesome with Copics or love them. So there's the basket. And again, I can see that my line is bleeding a little. There we go. So let's do a little bit of pink. I think it will work. We'll find out. This is a rose pink. I'm just gonna use a little on the cheeks and inside the ears. Oops. And so however much you dilute it, of course, and like I said earlier, you can go back over it after it dries to give it a little more depth if you wish. Yeah, you know, they're really more like true watercolor, if you will, cheater watercolors, and I'm not good at watercoloring either, but I like to play and practice and learn. So let's see. Yeah, the second brown was pretty, wasn't it, Sabrina? I think, and that one was, let me see, which one was that one? No, whoa, that's not the right one. Holy cow, that's definitely not the right one. I think that was the sandstone, maybe. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go fill in here quickly. There we go. All right, let's mess around with the balloon. Isn't the blush cute? And then, like I said, if it feels like it's a little too much, you just add a little water, stretch it out a little bit. I may come in later with some more gray, we'll see. Oh, shoot, I should have, here, let's give them some little pink toenails too. Wow, I really went overboard with the water. You can see that it keeps pulling into my little elephant. So I'll come in with the gray later and try to push it down, but I gotta let it dry or it's just gonna become a muddied mess, very much like regular watercolor. Hi Carla, thanks for popping in. let's see, how about, so for our balloon, I'm a little nervous about using anything too bold. Let's start with a purple. And this one is violet, pale violet. And let's see, I don't know how much I'm gonna need, so I'm gonna add a good blob there. All right, let's see here. Let's do some purple. And again, I'm gonna try to be better this time about not going too far into my lines because it does fade out. Honestly, I'm surprised it's moving as much on this watercolor paper as it is. I expected it to be less, I don't know, absorbing maybe, or more absorbing is what I want to say. When I colored on the regular 100-pound, I think it was Nina cardstock, the colors just kind of soaked instantly into the paper and didn't move much at all. But it did, you know, kind of warp the paper a little bit. So I had to be real careful with it. So Carla, Memorial Day, you know, various things, of course. Hi, Janet. Yes, it's been a great weekend. It's been so beautiful here. But, you know, a lot of people camp. Typically, Memorial Day weekend is so cold and rainy and miserable that, you know, it's not terribly enjoyable. But this year, yesterday and today, we were in the 70s. And today I think we're going to be in the 80s by the mid-afternoon, which is fantastic. But a lot of people camp. I know it's a day for, you know, visiting grave sites, which I was telling my daughter today, we haven't been out to visit my grandpa's in many years. So I think we may do that today. But barbecues, family time, you know, camping, that sort of thing. For me, planting flowers. Oh, you know what, Kim? It may be. I may have outsmarted myself by using the smooth side because it's really, really floating on there. Like, I'm very surprised that it's moving the way it is. So I may have to try it again. But you know what? That's part of the thing is I hate to do goofs-ups when I'm on lives, but I'm really kind of okay with this today because I'm just learning. Thank you, Carla. Me too. Like, I really needed the nice weather after that last week when we had all that horrible, yucky snow. But, you know, in the process here, in the sense of just showing you guys, you know, we're not perfect. It's going to come out okay in the end. And if it doesn't, it's just paper, right? And it's about learning and trying new things and having adorable images to do that with. So let's see here. So see, I got a little close to the line again. Darn it. That's okay. We're gonna figure it out. But look how cool that is, you guys. Like, do you see the, like, what do I want to say? The variation in the color. Right, exactly. Yeah, I should have practiced. I didn't last night because we changed the time. And again, I'm just okay with that because sometimes I think, well, I watch some of these videos and then I try to do it and I have like, not our videos. I think our gals are great, but even sometimes with ours, like I'll watch it and I'll think, oh, yep, I could do that. And it takes me a time or two. So practice is definitely a good thing no matter what, but it's just uncomfortable when you're the one doing it. Isn't that pretty? So that purple is pale violet, and I really like that. What color should we do with the purple, do you think, you guys? Maybe a yellow, or, and I don't really want to do orange. What do you think? Should we try yellow or another pink? I'm completely open to whatever we want to try. Let's see, what have I got for yellows? I have a, oh, that's called gold. I have a canary yellow, might be pretty. Let's try, hi Carrie. Let's try a yellow. Yeah, let's do a yellow. Yes, thank you, Carla. Yellow, or lello as my kids used to say it. So this one's called Canary, and let's see what we can do with that. So aside from my basket boo-boo, which again, I think I can put a cloud over a good chunk of that, I might even try to bleed in some blue, because it won't compete with the Kraftin Kimmie color, which is awesome. Pink, oh Sabrina, darn it. We'll do pink on this part. How's that sound? Pink is one of my favorites for sure. Alrighty, let's see here. I'll put a little bit more down. So the yellow doesn't show the variation quite as much, or maybe I'm doing it differently. It's hard to say, but that's kind of the fun part of it too, again. All right, so that was the lello. I think we'll do pink next. So I'm just getting some of the yellow off my brush on the side here. All right, let's try pink. What color is this pink? This is a cerise, it says, and it looks like it's gonna be bright. Let's try it. Ooh, that's gonna be fun. All right, we're gonna add some pink to this. Let's see what we get. Start up here. Ooh, my brush is really wet. Okay, there we go. It's a new water brush too, so I think I squeeze it too hard. My other one I had to really squeeze to get it to work. And this one doesn't seem to need to be squeezed. I can lift watercolor by painting with water. Yep, yeah, I think I might try that, Carla. I was messing around and it just kept spreading further and further, but I thought, well, we'll move on with this and then I will try that at the end just in case. And if it still doesn't work, like I said, I'll cover it up with a cloud. A big cloud die cut. So again, I got too close to the edge. See where I'm bleeding here? Which is okay if I'm, you know, kind of pulling into each of my colors within the image. I don't mind that. I feel like that's kind of what you do. And oh, Carrie, they're so fun. I haven't played with them obviously enough. And here I was feeling really brave. I'm like, you know, these are so fun and so easy. I'm going to show people how fun they are. And then I'm like really screwing up here and there, but that's okay. It is the real world, chickadees. wow. Yeah, see, it just kept really, I think Kim has a point. Maybe I should have tried it on the rough side more so than, yeah, I think I should have tried it on the rough. Wow. It's looking kind of like a mess, you guys. Maybe I'll restamp it. It's just an embellishment. You got it. I know. Thank you, Patty. You're so sweet. I'll show you the end regardless of how it looks, I think. Okay, so let's grab that purple again and just do a little bit. I'm just going to go right on it again. And again, it's really, let's see, hopefully. And the trick too, I probably shouldn't have used this quite so early because the pink is still really wet. So now that I've done it, I'm fully expecting that it's going to pull into there. And it looks like it is, of course. So see, this is the thing about watercolor is you have to be patient. And I am not patient. When I colored my Lucky Duckies, I did give them lots of time in between. And then again, I used a different paper. So let's see, let's try. We're just messing around now, folks. Ooh, that's really blue, but let's try. I'm trying to find a blue, even a shot with the heat gun. You're right. Yep, if I'd have thought to bring that out and zapped it really quick, I think that would have worked, Carla. You're right. Trying to find a blue that I can maybe bring in. That one's pretty close. Yeah, it's still pretty wet. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the lovely thing about Copics is you don't have to wait for, well, you do, I mean, if you want to do drying time and stuff like that, but I might zap it. I don't know. Should I zap it so you guys just can see what I'm doing with it before I end? Well, I don't know. Let's just see. That's kind of wet still, but let's see what happens. So this is a color that's probably going to look way different on there, but we're going to try it. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just adding some more water and I'm adding a blue, and surprisingly this blue, and I'm trying not to get, is quite similar to this denim. So I guess I'm not a very good salesperson for these Karin markers, am I today, you guys? That's funny. I'm gonna have to do another one and see. Honest to goodness, I had such great success the first couple of times I used these. So now all I'm doing is I'm just adding a little bit of, I'm trying to blend some of my lines, but they're not cooperating. So I'm just kind of going over the top of my rectangle that I did with the designer denim. And I'm just adding more swoops of blue. I'm just gonna add some like cloud effects maybe. That's my plan now. We'll see. We're just playing because we're already this far into it, so what the heck. The thing is that blue, the brown really bled. Sorry, guys. Well, I think that it's not perfect, but oh goodness, I think I've actually made it worse. Let's see here. I'm going to pick up a little bit more of this blue. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you know what, Sabrina, like I said, I think I have a whole bunch of things going against me at the moment. And that's, again, that's the way it is. But I think I will do another one just to maybe as a show and tell difference. But this is a new water brush, which I usually have better success with because I don't dip it so much into the water. But today, this one is very, like I'm not even squeezing it and the water's just coming out. So it's a control issue for me since I'm new to this and I'm not very practiced at it. And then I think, you know, using the smooth side of the paper probably was the wrong choice, but that's, you know, next time I'll try it with other. And again, I was going for, you know, the watercolory effect, which is exactly what I got. It's not perfect. It's not in the lines. And they are really, truthfully, so fun to play with, you guys. These markers are. Like I said, today I wasn't a very good salesperson for them, but I wasn't selling for them anyway. This is about the image and how cute it is. And lots of them are really fun and easy to do. I know, Carla, it's crazy because my other one, I had to squeeze so hard to get the color. So today I switched to this one and I hadn't used it yet, thinking that it would be easier. But it is still very cute, isn't it? Like, how does it not be cute? The Kraftin Kimmie stamps are all just so adorable. You know, and now that I've got a little bit, probably going to mess it up, but that's all right. So I've got a little bit of drying here. I'm just going to come back in with a little more color. In my pink area. And so now I'm terrified to squeeze this brush because it's going to just come out like crazy. All right, I think I'm going to call it good. Oh, then yeah, that's the thing. So, Sabrina, there are, oh gosh, 1, 2, 3. There's like a lot of different pinks, and I agree. One of the samples that I got. So I got an orange, a pink, a blue. Can't remember what other color I got. And the pink is what made me fall in love with it. It was like, wow, it's just so soft, and I really liked it. You can work with it in a lot of different ways. So, all right, I'm gonna let it dry. I'm gonna see what it looks like after it dries. I may just leave it be. Like right now, it's looking like it might dry better than it, it looks for sure. So I made you curious about them. Yeah, they're truthfully super fun to use, and a lot of our images are so easy to use with these markers because they're, like I said, the end of them is a very, it's pretty solid. It feels almost like a Copic nib, and then when you get the hang of blending out the water and not being too heavy-handed, which is always my issue for sure, then it works really slick, actually. So what I'm going to do with this guy is I'm going to let it dry. I am going to, I'm just adding a little bit more blues here. And then I'm going to put maybe a cloud on there. We'll see. And let it dry, put it on a base, and post it. And maybe I'll try another one. And I just keep messing with it. I gotta stop. Maybe I'll try another one on the other side of the paper and just mess around and see how it looks. So thanks, you guys, for being patient with me and watching as I fumbled through my learning process here. I think it's actually still really going to be sweet as it dries, and what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to put a sentiment down here in the bottom. Oh, I forgot to grab my stamp set, but there's lots of adorable sentiments that go with this stamp set. I think I'll put a sentiment along the bottom, maybe if I don't cover that up with the cloud. Add a couple of little dots, and then I'm just going to keep it, like I said, clean and simple. I'm going to put it on another base. I use the same watercolor paper base. This paper is really amazing. It's like extremely heavyweight, but let's see, I don't know if you can see the difference, but you can see I definitely chose the smooth side of this for sure. So I'm going to try it on the other and see how it goes. So anyway, well, thanks, you guys. It was fun, and I appreciate you spending a little bit of what's left of the Memorial Day weekend, if that's what it is for you. I know for me, oh gosh, up close that looks terribly messy, but it doesn't look that bad in real life, I promise. All right, you guys, thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.